Welcome to the Grizzled Geek and Review for August 18th, 2017. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here for your weekly nerd news roundup.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was nerd news, and we happen to see it, we covered it here in this weekend show.
Yeah.
And today we have breaking news.
Yeah,
News
some
that
good
just
stuff.
hit. Well, just hit yesterday.
Yes.
New for us, though, right now while we're filming.
Right, yeah.
Our dreams have come true, folks. Obi-Wan Kenobi movie is happening. It's going to star Ewan McGregor. It's going to come out in 2020.
Yeah.
It's-
Keep throwing them down.
It's that I'm calling it. That's what's
Yes.
happening.
All right. So the real story is that Stephen Daldry is in talks to direct the movie.
Stephen Daldry, the Oscar-nominated director for The Hours and Billy Elliot,
That's right.
the one and the same.
And that's all we know at this stage. In theory,
It's in the works.
It's in the works.
Yes.
Yeah. The fact that they're talking to a director means, and that Ewan McGregor has been very vocal that he wants to do.
Ewan
a Kenobi.
McGregor's going to be it.
Yeah, I mean-
they haven't announced it yet, but come on.
I think it's
what the fans
logical, and I probably a good bet that yes, 2020 is probably the year. It's probably the next standalone film. It probably is going to have the Stephen Daldry. It's probably going to have Ewan McGregor, but all we know for sure is that he's in talks.
Right.
Now we'll see where that goes from there.
He's in talks and the movie's in works. So
hopefully we're going to see news coming rapidly
Right.
to confirm all of this.
Here's the thing. Disney, Lucasfilm, Marvel, they're all part of the same well-oiled machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't, when stuff leaks from them, it's on purpose, right? They come out, when they make an announcement, there's, it's not, they don't frivolously make, we're thinking about doing this, right? It's
Yeah.
everything's planned meticulously. So if they're coming out now and saying that this movie's in the works, this is the director we're talking to,
Right.
that's just a precursor to them announcing
To an official announcement. yeah.
announcement.
Yeah, the only misstep we've had in Star Wars is the long-running rumor that there was going to be a Boba Fett movie.
Right.
And there may have actually at some point been the idea of a Boba Fett movie, but I think they've backed off on that. So
Yeah, maybe we'll see a Boba Fett or Bounty Hunter series when Disney does their own,
yeah, maybe.
subscription service.
Yeah, that could be cool.
So
All right. And this. Speaking of Marvel, Disney, all that. Nick Fury is left by the wayside, and Sam Jackson is pissed. This was an interesting story that we haven't seen Samuel Jackson since
Age of
Winter
Ultron.
Soldier. Oh, Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. So briefly in Age of Ultron.
yeah,
He wasn't in the last Captain America movie. He's not going to be in the Black Panther movie. He's apparently not in Avengers 3 or 4. And
he doesn't sound happy about it.
he's not happy. He's not heard from anybody at Marvel. He hasn't even heard about Captain Marvel. They've not contacted him. He's not under contract. I guess the only person he's talked to that's involved in the movie is Brie Larson, and she didn't have nothing to say about it.
So
But it was Feige himself who said that Jackson would be in Captain Marvel. So it's interesting that that's happening.
that they haven't reached out to him.
That they haven't reached out to him there.
Yeah, and for him not to be in, the Avengers, Infinity War, or Black Panther, I mean, those movies, at least a cameo. At least,
It is
as much
kind
as he
of
showed
odd.
up in Age of Ultron. I mean, he's kind of since Coulson was killed off in the first Avengers movie, he is the through line for all the. I mean, he's the one that started the Avengers.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
brought them together. So, and Samuel Jackson's, is a great actor. I don't know, maybe he got too expensive. They're only using him slightly. He went through his contract. He signed he was the biggest number of movie contracts out of any of those actors.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
He's fulfilled it, but I mean, come on. They announced him. You can announce him in a movie and not.
And not have him under contract for it. That's
Yeah.
That's odd.
Go to
very
Comic Con
odd.
and go, hey, he's going to be in this. Just assume he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big actor. I don't know if it's not like he's hunting for work.
Right. Yeah.
So
although he's very competitive too, and he wants to be the top of the pile of,
He does.
Being in the most movies. He's been passed as the top grossing actor of all time. I forget who.
Harrison Ford.
Maybe.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Him and Harrison Ford were like the.
Yeah, and his was through sheer volume of movies.
Yeah.
Versus Harrison Ford's had many more big hits. But
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see how this shakes out, to see if they get him under contract soon, and what else might be going on behind the scenes there.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, at least, yeah, because it doesn't sound like he's, I don't know how you can let someone like that big, be that upset out there without actually having talked to him about this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But
Right.
anyway, moving on over into Batman news. Back to the will he, won't he.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is Batman in the Batman movie. Well, as we all know, anyone who has little brothers, they tend to be mouthy sometimes. They'll say stuff we embarrass you. As any politician with a little brother can tell you,
Yeah.
your little brother can get you in trouble sometimes. Well, Casey Affleck, in an interview, basically let slip that his brother is no longer going to be Batman. He's like, oh, he made a great Batman. It's too bad he's not going to do the movie. And then when asked about it, he quickly backtracked. I was like, wait, he's not going to be Batman? You letting that slip? Is that a scoop?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't know. I just made that up.
Yeah, he was at a Red Sox game apparently, and I was just having fun with folks.
Right. And then yesterday, reps for both parties have jumped in to do damage control. Casey's reps said he was having fun with folks at the Red Sox game and not speaking from a place of firsthand knowledge. Where Ben Affleck's rep came out and said, nothing's changed since Comic-Con. He'll continue to be Batman as long as the studio will have him. Very, carefully crafted responses to this.
Yeah.
Not saying one way or the other.
Right.
He give you a recap on this again right before Comic-Con. A very reputable news source came out and said that the studio is, Ben Affleck wants out as Batman in the studio, and he looking for a way to part gracefully.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The next day at the panel, Ben Affleck came out to deny this, although, well, not really deny this.
Not really. Yeah.
Basically say, that he likes Matt Smith or Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
And then he likes playing Batman. It's a great honor to play Batman, but not once does he confirm or deny that he is
in Batman,
going to be in it or not.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll be there as long as the studio wants me.
Yeah.
And that's what his rep just said now. So, is he going to be Batman? My money is on no. I don't think he's going to be. All signs points to him wanting out. And, he's pretty close with his brother. His little brother let that slip.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beers in him in the Red Sox games. Like, oh, yeah, it sucks he's not doing a Batman movie.
And it's really sad because he's made one of my favorite.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, he's been one of my favorite Batman.
Yeah.
So that is kind of a bummer.
Yep. Oh, wow. Little brothers, huh?
Yeah. All right. Next, we got Tom Cruise was injured filming on the set of the next Mission Impossible movie.
6 or...
I've lost track of how many movies there are, like number 21. Apparently he was doing, again, he does his own stunts. So he was doing his own stunt, jumping from building to building, and fractured his ankle. Yeah. Apparently pretty seriously, because he could be out up to between 6 and 12 weeks, which has stopped filming.
Yeah.
Because he does all those stunts and he's the star of the movie, so you're not going to be able to do anything without him. But most importantly, it could delay the start of filming on Top Gun.
Top Gun 2.
So that's going to be really interesting how that plays out. I believe you said they were from 2 different studios.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little rough. It might push back the release date of Mission Impossible as well.
Oh, right. Yeah, because they've totally shut down.
Anytime there's like a big shutdown like this for weeks, it impacts, especially a working actor like,
somebody who does their own stunts and stuff like that.
Yep.
It's not like they've got, I don't know, do you know how long they were into filming? So they probably don't have a lot to work with in the editing room either. So it's not like they can get ahead on anything. They can't, maybe there's a few pickup shots you can do that don't have him in the scene, but not a lot. Yeah. So,
this begs the question whether or not, a 55-year-old man, even though, he is very dedicated to his films, it's applaud the guy wanting to do his own stunts and everything, but at 55,
maybe he shouldn't be.
Maybe, especially when he is impacting several movies he's got lined up, right?
Right.
When injury impacts multiple films like this, maybe it's time, he has, let's the stunt double come in there. There's short stunt doubles out there. Yeah. They can cover for him.
I'm sure there are. Yes. There you go. So we may be seeing a delay on Mission Impossible, definitely on the filming, and to Top Gun as well.
Man, they mess up Top Gun, I'll be upset.
Yeah.
But, and on to our next story, which also highlights how dangerous stunt work is in films. There was a horrible accident on the set of Deadpool 2 this last week where stunt woman S.J. Harris was killed. You know, and our thoughts go out to the family. I know Deadpool 2 has just recently resumed filming. They shut down for a few days because of it. Apparently, I mean, she was a stunt woman for Domino.
For Domino, yeah.
Yeah. It was a motorcycle accident. Now, Harris was also noted for the first African-American female road racer.
Right.
So, and this was like one of her first like stunt jobs she was doing. But she was very, you know, proficient on the motorcycle, and the stunt had been done several times before.
Right.
In that run. But I mean, it can happen. It's a very dangerous business. I mean, out there.
Yeah.
You know, which is why, you know, probably, you know, Tom Cruise shouldn't be doing his own stunts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even professionals can get her doing it. So.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. So sad story.
Yeah.
All right, on to, or back over to Marvel with the Inhumans. We're apparently done on the cheap, if you couldn't tell from everything we've seen about it.
Costumes and special effects and everything.
Yeah, everything. The director of the first 2 episodes was Roll Rain, I believe.
Yeah.
Rain, something like that. And he said in an interview that he was chosen because he can make stuff look good quickly and cheaply.
Yeah.
Especially action, quick and cheap action.
The main tenets from Marvel was they wanted it cheap and quick. They wanted it out there quickly, and they wanted it done cheaply. So
the unfortunate thing with that is, I don't know, maybe this guy is really good, but it looks cheap and quick.
Well, I mean, there's only so much, depending on how cheap it is.
Yeah.
You can only do so good with, you know, depending on how cheap it is. So
yeah.
Hopefully there's enough. He did say that they were very supportive. They had executives on set to make sure that everything they do ties in with the other Marvel movies and other Marvel TV shows and stuff like that to keep the continuity. So we'll see what goes on that. I mean, I don't know why, you know, he was just saying that this is the first time he's actually had, you know, he only had a 20-day shoot, you know, which was, you know, a luxury for him, you know, because he's usually working on indie stuff with a lot less time to work on it.
Yeah.
And he got to play around. He had IMAX cameras, so he was like, you know, this is great for me. I got 20 days to shoot, and I got IMAX cameras. This is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, well.
We'll see.
We'll see how
it doesn't look good for Inhumans, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to some good news, kind of, I guess. Good news for us.
This will be interesting. See how this plays
If
out.
you guys have seen this week all over the place hearing about MoviePass dropping their prices. What is MoviePass, you ask? Well, MoviePass is a subscription service you can get for where you pay, now the new price, $10 a month, $9.99 a month, and you can go see a movie a day.
Right.
You have to see 30 movies a month with a few restrictions, of course. Right. The way it works is you get your little MoviePass credit card.
Right.
You go to the movie theater. You have to be within a mile of the movie theater or whatever. It logs in. You log in, and it'll tell you what the prices are for tickets, standard movie ticket.
Right.
And they put that money on the card. You go buy your ticket with it.
Right.
Okay. So if you want IMAX or 3D, you got to pay the difference. Right?
Okay.
So it's only for a standard ticket. You can only see one movie a day, and you can only see one movie once. But you can see.
So you can't go binge on the latest Marvel movie every day for a week.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, how does that work? How do you see 30 movies for $10? Yeah. Well, the way it works is the movie theaters are not missing any money. They pay the movie theater the full price for the tickets. Now, how do they stay in business, you ask? It seems like they're going to be losing a ton of money. Well, they plan to lose a ton of money. They have an influx of capital, I think like $37 million or something like that.
Something like that.
To subsidize this program from an analytics company called Helios and Matheson Analytics. Now, why would they do this? Well, it's an analytics company. So when you sign up for this program, they're going to know everything about you, right? Mm-hmm. You know,
age, sex, race.
Yeah. Everything, what movies you prefer to see, what theaters you go to.
Yeah.
So at the end of this year, because it's for a year for this price, right? They're going to have a ton of movie analytics that they can sell to the studios.
Studios, yeah.
Yeah. Now, theaters are not too happy about this, especially AMC, who's come out and kind of denounced the program.
Yeah.
They're trying to stop it from happening.
Yeah, their quote was "not welcome here."
Not welcome here. Unfortunately, there's not much they can do about it unless they can legally somehow.
Yeah, they're looking into the legal
Yeah.
avenues to say nope, we don't want to do this.
Yeah, and on the outside, their reasoning is they saying it's not a sustainable business model, which it's not.
Yeah.
And that once prices go back to normal, or what if they go out of business, people are going to be used to paying this lower price for movie tickets, and there's something to that. But I think more this is going to be when they have all this analytic information, they're going to be selling this to studios. Studios are going to be able to direct market and decide where they spend their money, what movie theaters they're going to release their movies to.
Yeah.
And movie theaters don't want that. They want to be able to have equal share of trying to get movies in.
Yeah.
And not the directed sale, direct approach of where they release the movies.
Yeah, because if you're in a major metropolitan area like we are, you might have, 5 or 6 different movie theaters within 4 or 5 miles. Yeah. But if one of those gets the majority of the traffic, say for blockbusters, so the latest Marvel movie, the latest DC movie, the latest big budget, Warner Brothers movie, whatever it is, and everybody tends to go to this one theater, the other theaters in the area may get less screen time for those movies, or not at all if they're on the outside of the bubble,
or definitely less marketing. Movie standees and posters and stuff like that.
True, yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah,
or where their trailers are going to be directed too.
Yeah.
So it's going to affect a whole lot of stuff for the theaters, and the theaters aren't going to. It's going to be out of their control. Yeah. So before it was all about movie theater influence.
Yeah,
right? And how big the chain was.
Yeah, and those theaters count on getting people in for those big movies because they don't make a lot on a movie.
No.
They make it all in concessions. They want you coming on opening night or, the big weekend nights, coming to see the newest, best movie and buying concessions. If you don't do that, if they don't get that opportunity because, say, instead of 4 screens for the newest movie, they only get 1, they're going to get a quarter of the revenue from, concessions as well.
Yeah, I still fall for that when you're like, oh, I'll buy the tickets, you buy the concessions. I'm like, oh, yeah, wait a minute.
I'll spend $12 and you spend $20.
Yeah, I'm like, thanks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're gonna buy it. I mean, $9 a month for movies.
Yeah, might as well give it a try and see how it goes.
Check it out. Even if you see 2 movies a month, it's worth it.
Yeah,
right there. Even if you're paying the upcharge for IMAX, it's still.
I guess, because I think, you save about 50. You pay about 50 extra cents for the first one, and then everyone you go to after that.
After that is still good. So, yep.
Yep. All right. Last story has a bit of spoilers in it, so if you are concerned about spoilers,
if you haven't seen season 1 of Jessica Jones,
you
don't want the end spoiled for you, then
you're not going to want to listen to this story.
Yeah.
So, David Tennant is going to return as Kilgrave in season 2 of Jessica Jones.
But wait a minute, Doug. Isn't he dead?
He is, or at least
Spoilers?
We thought he was. He has his neck broken at the end of the season, but he is in set photos for the new one. But the set photos tend to suggest that he's a haunting,
he's in her head.
That he's talking to her, kind of whispering to her and stuff like that. So
it doesn't show anybody else paying attention to him in the scene.
Correct.
So,
So
they can't see him.
So he's returning for season 2, we know, and the likelihood is that he is returning in a psychological sense. He's in her head. She's having to deal with the fact that she killed him.
That's what Jessica Jones needs, more psychological trauma.
Yeah, there you go.
She's messed up enough already.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I guess technically there was one small comic book story about Spider-Man reveal, but it was a non-story.
Hey, this story that you thought, this big cliffhanger, it was nothing.
Yeah.
That's it. That was the big news.
Back when Miles Morales left, Peter Parker looked up his name, said, "Oh my God," saw something on the screen. It was revealed this week that it was nothing. He couldn't find anything up on him. So
oh my God, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, he doesn't exist. There's your comic story for the week. Moving on to gaming. We want to highlight a new, not necessarily a game on Kickstarter, but a tabletop game subscription box. QST, or pronounced Quest, has a new service where they design games and they send you a new game every month. And the great thing about this is it's a 3-part collaboration on all their games, right? So they have concept team, a design team, and an art team, and they mix and match these guys to create these games, right?
Okay.
And just to give you an example, here's a list of some of the concept example people they have working for them. This is just a small section of the people: Kevin Eastman, Paul Dini, R.A. Salvador, Monty Cook, Marv Wolfman. I mean, these are some major names here they got here for design.
Big names.
And in equal, big names for that's for the concept guys for design and art as well. So they're getting some big names to collaborate on these games, and they're going to put one out a month. And right now, the first game is going to come out in March, and it's called Foreclosure Dungeon Master's Tavern, and it's going to be like a bidding game where like the tavern's going out of business, and you got to bid against other boss monsters for loot and stuff in the tavern. It looks like a lot of fun. I mean, they're going to be collectible games, right? They're only going to be out in this box form, right?
Okay.
So right now, backers can get in on $12.99 a month for the subscription cost. And if you're a backer for this at $12.99, you can renew that every year for the same price. Otherwise, you're looking at normally $19.99 for 12 months, a month for 12 months, or $22.99 for 6 months subscription.
Interesting. All right.
Each month. So I mean, this is a pretty good deal if you're getting a whole box game here.
Right.
With these designers here, it's just seems like a unique thing. It is on Kickstarter right now. We'll have a link down below. So
Cool.
Well, there you have it, folks. Our news for the week. Pretty much, I think it was quite a bit this week.
There was, yeah. And we do want to give a quick shout out to our newest patron, Mark Horner II. Thank you very much for supporting us.
You're the man, Mark.
All right. And make sure you please comment below on the stories that we went over or any stories we missed. Make sure you like and subscribe, share with a friend, and you can find our link to our Patreon page and our GoFundMe page down below in the description.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.